Hey, what's going on, folks? How we doing tonight? We're gonna do the Maulers segment tonight. I'm gonna move over a little bit so the jersey gets shown. I know it's last year's version, and they are going to the black and gold this year, which makes a lot of Pittsburgh people happy. Um, we all have. I have my theory on that purple and orange thing behind me, and we'll get into it. But tonight we have a very, very special guest. Last year at the end of the season, he took over for the Maulers in the group, the USFL talk group. Very excited to have him on the show tonight because we're going to break down the Maulers. We're going to talk about the Maulers, and let's bring him in right away. Let's do it.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, Webb? How you doing tonight, man?
Good, man. Good. I'm excited to be here. Talk Maulers, man. There's not a lot of Maulers show. I think me and you are like the only ones out there that talk Maulers.
You know, we'll preach to the choir and see who we get in. You know.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I know you have an interview. I call them conversations. They sound a lot better than interviews, but that's just me. Like everyone's like, "Oh, you got an interview with?" I'm like, "No, I got a conversation with Webb because that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk."
Yeah.
And anyway, I like to call them conversations, but you got a big one tomorrow night, I think.
Yeah, Matt Mangle. He's going to come on as long as he doesn't have Valentine's Day plans. He just texted me right on your intro. So we'll find out. But Matt Mangle's coming on, our punter. So he was with the Stars last year. So I'm excited about that one.
Should be good. Yeah. So you've had him on.
When we were with the Discord in the off season, he came on and he an AMA, and fans got to ask him questions. We got to ask him questions. He's a great guest. So definitely excited for Matt Mangle.
Sweet. I'm excited. You know, I always get excited when people bring in players, any type of players actually, but you know, whenever they're on your team that you cover and talk about, it makes it a little more entertaining.
Yeah. The most entertaining is Boogie, man.
I can't wait. He just confirmed earlier yesterday to me that he would come on during training camp, so very excited. Arnold Tarpley the third said he would come on too. And, you know, I'm not as big as you. You know, you got the USFL network behind you, so you got a big name behind you. Yeah. And you have Ace out there, and he's a good power guy. Good guy at getting people in on the show from what I've seen.
Yeah, well, Ace is connected with the Gamblers, man. He's entrenched. He's entrenched there, so.
Yeah. I knew he was a Gamblers fan, but now it feels like he's like right sitting next to the GM all the time now.
Yeah.
Getting phone calls and stuff from him. That's pretty impressive. I must say. Football is his topic.
Yeah.
And I think he's embraced the whole USFL.
Yep.
Probably more than anyone I've ever seen.
Yeah. Me and him, we have that new show, USFL Authority. We just argue back and forth. It's kind of like First Take for the USFL. We started it last week. We're going to do it weekly. So
didn't you guys do a weekly show last year too?
Yeah, we started one, and then he got in the he's in the military, and he had a reserve weekend, and we fell off, and then it just was a busy season, so it was tough to schedule that one. But he still was entrenched with the Gamblers, and it just covers.
I think it's funny. We have the best battle in the world because we own them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the only team that we get to talk anything about right now. So,
yeah. You know, we don't have to worry about Pizzagate this year. Hopefully, we don't have to worry about, you know, hopefully going 1-9 again because that was atrocious.
Yep.
The whole Pizzagate thing, I think, was whenever this season got destroyed.
Well, here's the thing. My take on the Pizzagate is that, like, I don't know if you had a retail job when you were a kid. Like, you know, in a store, like when you're 16, 17 years old.
I worked in a shop and save, like a food store.
Yeah, food store. And then, you know, like the front end, like supervisor, and they start to give the keys to like a 17, 18-year-old kid that's never done it before. And then the whole front, I worked in retail, and the whole front end, and it's kind of crazy because your buddy is now in charge of the store, and he doesn't have experience managing and all that. That's kind of what I feel like the Maulers were like last year. That they really didn't have a plan. They were the least gelled team. Like I talking to Jaron Horton, he never met most of his defensive assistants on the whole staff until he got there. Kirby kind of hand chose people from his past, but he never met them until they got to Birmingham, really.
use StreamYard? Didn't they have like what we're doing right here with them though?
Yeah, they did, but like they never had the like think about it. The camp was 4 weeks. The draft was 4 weeks before that. In 8 weeks, you put down a coaching staff and a roster, and you got to put in a playbook. Now you're meeting all these new players. I just feel like the teams that were most successful last year were Holtz with all his Louisiana Tech guys. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he there's continuity there. The Stars with Andrews. Andrews coached Brian Scott and Cookus last year. You know what I mean? Those are the best two teams. Mike Riley and Bill Devaney, the GM, they took guys that they knew and they trusted. I feel like the Maulers were the team that was most behind with continuity. So I think that was part of the issue. I think this year is a lot different. So
I feel this year's gonna be a lot different. You know, we're closer to home. We're not at home yet, but I have a feeling we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Now, where they're gonna play, if they got the Heinz Field, you know, or not, I don't know.
Yeah,
But we'll find out probably.
knows?
I want to say 2 years they'll be playing in Pittsburgh.
Wow, that's
I'm
that's
thinking they're gonna run this 2 years and see how it goes.
Okay, that's fine with me. You know why? Because if they're cheap in the league with travel and all that kind of stuff, because if you look at the schedule, they're going to travel with the Generals all year. Wherever they go, the Generals are with them. So they're going to cut down on expenses, the league. So we will see a year 3. And that's what I'm more excited about. Like, I just want to see the league keep building so we could talk. Hey, remember in 2022 when we were all in one location? Now we have franchises, we have owners. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I think Moose and the staff is building that league correctly. So,
And I mean, Ace looked like you had a blast in Canton. I was surprised you didn't go. Obviously, you said you're in Savannah, which it did cost a lot of money to go.
Yeah.
I mean, they went for fun. Have you ever met them guys? Like, have you ever had a no?
All internet. We're planning something in Canton this year. I'd like
playoffs.
No, I'm regular season. I think we're looking at week 2. Not 100% sure. We got to get, there's 8 of us, so like you got to get 8 of us on the same page, which could be difficult. But last year for the championship, we kind of
I just got to drive over.
Yeah. I coach an AAU team basketball.
Oh, do you?
So, yeah, a lot of my schedule is booked up already, so I kind of and my dad of 2 young kids. You know what I mean? So it was a little tough. With 3 weeks to go, they're like, "Hey, we're going to Canton the week of 4th of July." I'm like, all right.
So like, wait a minute, I'm not going to be able to make it, guys.
Yeah. That was my.
I get it. Gets a little hectic. Gets a little. I know. I have 3 kids too, but we won't get into that discussion.
Okay, I got you.
But anyway, Ace, I'm grateful you stopped on. That video was done by my guy up in Cleveland. I thought it was a pretty good video. He put
that video was awesome. Like, you're the first show that I've seen, not just Maulers, but USFL. Then I'm like, man, I think that one beat my intro video. I'm serious. So that was awesome.
I like going with the Rosier. I grew up in Brookline, and when the Maulers first came in, they practiced at Moore Field.
Okay.
And we played T-ball on the upper level of that field.
Oh, nice.
So every time we were leaving, they were coming.
Yeah.
And, I didn't know any better. I was like, cool, football team, and I guess I should have been a little bit more involved, but I was like 6.
Yeah.
No, I was 5.
Yeah.
So I didn't know any better, but that would have been cool to be in one of those pictures, like, hey.
Yeah. Yeah,
Especially since they practiced that close to me,
Yeah.
But I thought that was neat.
So, real quick, I'm going to ask you a question. Orange and purple, explain it. You like the color change, right?
Okay, orange and purple. Yeah. Eddie DeBartolo Sr. owned this team, right?
Yep.
Eddie DeBartolo Jr. owned what team?
The 49ers.
Right. So you think his dad was going to give a football team in Pittsburgh the colors of black and gold?
Oh, no, I get that. Do you like the change, I guess?
I love the change.
Okay. All right, good. We're on the same page there.
As soon as I see the jersey and what it looks like, I'm going to have one in my background.
The rumors I've heard is it's basically what Ace has been doing with the graphics Basically
Come
just
on.
switching
He said
colors.
he sent me some samples of what he thought, and he never sent them to me. I'll have to
Uh,
ask him.
he sends them to me. So if you check my Twitter, I've got a couple Trey Walker and everything. Boogie. It's basically just a swap with the yellow
Is it
is where the
just like
orange
that
is.
one?
Yeah, with the yellow is where the orange is and the purple is black.
Are
The
they going to
yellow
keep the
shows
numbers
the
white,
badge.
or are they going to go black numbers and then yellow numbers on the black?
The way Ace has it, it's got a yellow outline. That's it. Basically the
That's
same
it.
because I think that has an orange outline. So,
I think I would have went like black, yellow, and then black.
yeah, probably.
I think I would have looked like a bumblebee. You know what I mean?
As long as they match the city, man, because there's only one city that is recognized by colors. So
That's us.
yeah, no other city has all the same colors. So
I was very excited whenever I got my jersey, and now I have to get a new one.
no, you got a throwback, man. You got the original. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't know any of the players on the team, but I knew what the
Yeah.
jersey looked like. So I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? There's no numbers. I'm just going to get a number I wear that I like, and I got my name on it.
Nice.
So that's what I'll probably do with this one too.
What
I've
number
been
did you
getting
get? What number is it?
26.
20. Oh, okay. All right. I don't know if there was any of them that were number 26. Nice. There you go.
But now we're gonna go to this.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that. I was thrilled whenever they did. I was very excited about it. I'm
Well,
sure you were, but you were like, "Oh, now I got to change all my color schemes and everything else."
yeah. Luckily, computers make that easy. But the best thing is the coaching staff also has a lot of Pittsburgh ties. Jaron Horton grew up there. Ray Horton, the assistant coach, was the last two Super Bowls. He was the defensive back coach.
Right.
Kirby coached there, obviously. Mark Hole was at Slippery Rock.
Yes, he was. I did read that.
Yeah,
I did not even know the coaches because I thought we were just going to do offense. But go ahead, let's break it down.
Well, I just getting to know these guys, like they're Pittsburgh, man. They're all
Have you had any of the coaches on your show yet?
I've had Horton, the defensive coordinator. I've had Tomlinson, the offensive coordinator, and Mark Hole, who's the linebacker special teams coordinator. So
sweet. Have you ever tried to bring them on as a group?
No, man. I just go all football nerd when it comes to, like, I just, you know what I mean? Just listen to a coach speak. And like they are one of those guests that tend to be wordy. It's not like some of the players are like a little shy and everything. They have no problem expressing themselves. And like, I can listen to them for hours. Like Jaron Horton, I dubbed him the mad scientist because like he's 30 years old, man. He's the defense coordinator in the USFL. Like, Tomlinson's got his own computer game, man. Like you could download the app.
Really?
You know that? Yeah, it's called QB Equalizer, and like he gives you like 5 seconds to read the coverage and all that, and then there's a test. It's not like a super intense one, but he uses that instead of PowerPoints to teach his quarterbacks. And he's down in Granada.
So have you downloaded it?
I did download it last year when Laletta was on the team, and I played it. It's not the most like I don't know. It just quizzing you on coverages. Like it's not 40 hours of entertainment. You know what I mean? It's not Candy Crush or anything like that.
It is like 10 minutes to break down some defense, and then that's like probably it, right?
Yeah. If you're not a quarterback, like yes, it's great to know the coverages, but like you don't have to read them in 2.8 seconds. You know what I mean? Before pre-snap. So
were you excited when Love came in?
So yes and no. Love was because he played in college with Trey Walker and Gaither and Isaiah Henry. No, he didn't play with Isaiah Henry, but like
he played with a couple of the guys, right?
Yeah, the couple of wide receivers. Love, out of the two that started the season, Love was the guy that I would have gone with over Laletta.
So did I. I had Love starting actually. Then they put in Laletta, and I was like, I mean, did you read some of them tweets that the Giants fans were laughing at us?
Yeah.
Well, I mean that was not good.
The irony is now Laletta is the number 2 option for the Generals. So
I think he's going to fit in better there.
He's got to replace Luis Perez because they still have DeAndre Johnson. They cut the third quarterback yesterday, Dequan Neal. So he's definitely their pocket passer. Last year, you know how they had like a running quarterback and a pocket passer.
Right,
Loletta's
we had a flat Lee at the end,
yeah. And then Vad and Roland Rivers.
who's now in Canada, right, with the Lions.
Yeah, Vad is. Roland Rivers, I think, is still out there. He's from the Rock, I think. I think, or Shippensburg. Well, one or the other. I forget.
He was a
But,
Pittsburgh guy.
yeah, he's a Pittsburgh guy. He is still a free agent, but they moved on. Like, to be fair to all the guys, none of the quarterbacks produced last year. None of them. Like, they were all below 50%. Roland Rivers,
I've had moments.
Yeah, they all had moments, but like it didn't seem like
there was
like Vad's best game, in my opinion, was his first game against
and he
Houston.
Came out strong.
Yeah, and then it kind of faded away. And the crazy thing is, at that time, they I don't know if you remember the first 3 weeks they had 3 receivers on the active roster. Like, think about that. Like, you only have 3 receivers on the team.
They had Gaither,
Walker, and Hardaway.
Right.
And then they started adding guys when Vad was there, so he was able, and it just never got off the ground. I think this year the offense will look completely different.
So let's start with quarterbacks.
All right.
So who do we think? What do we think of these guys? Obviously, I put them up there. These are the 4 that are on the roster right now.
Yep.
I just want to clear that so everyone watching can see what's going on.
So there's going to be a cut here. One of them's going to go. They're only going to carry 3. Like, there's no point. Like, you only get 50 spots. There's no point of carrying 4.
We get 42 though. That can be on the active roster. 8 have to be absent on.
Yeah, so there's 50 spots. There's 50 total spots. There's 58 on the roster right now. So 8 have to be cut. I think one of the cuts comes here. Forcade is a legend at Nicholls State. At one point, I believe he led Nicholls State history in rushing and passing yards. Like, the kid is a gamer. Think about this: 18 years old, he decides to stay local. His first collegiate game is in Athens, Georgia, against the Georgia Bulldogs. Kirby Smart's first home game. They almost beat him as an 18-year-old freshman. The kid is a gamer, and he doesn't have the biggest arm, not the most mobile, but he figures out a way.
He could be possible starter.
Yeah, well, I think all 4 of them really can. James Morgan was just in the NFL, so they signed him in September. He gets a contract from the Arizona Cardinals. He's on their practice squad, so they have to release him. And then he comes back. Kid's got an arm. A lot of his comps were Brett Favre. He grew up in Wisconsin. He's kind of got that gunslinger mentality. He's got a big arm. He was drafted by the Jets in the 4th round, right? The Jets cut him after, you know how they took Zach Wilson and Robert Saleh came in over. That's when
you're better off keeping James Morgan.
Yeah, no comment there. Connor Sampson's kind of the questionable one. He's in Western Illinois. He's a late signee. They signed him when Morgan went to the NFL, so they thought they weren't going to get Morgan back. Watching tape about him, he's mobile. He's got an arm. He competed at the level. I think he's got good size. You see, he's 6'3". That's actually really nice. You got that in front of me. I couldn't remember all that stuff.
Copy and paste helped out on this one.
Yeah. And then Troy Williams.
I mean, I typed it all out. I mean,
Yeah. Troy Williams played high school ball with Trey Walker and Boogie Roberts. He went to Washington first, transferred out of there, went back home, junior college, all that kind of stuff. Goes to Utah, and he starts his junior year, plays pretty good, but gets replaced his senior year. Never heard of Pete complaining, nothing, no transfer out, nothing like that. He was still the captain of the team. He's a leader. He was replaced by Huntley from the Ravens. So it wasn't like he was replaced by someone that didn't start, 15 NFL games. He got
Pro Bowler now.
Yeah, questionable mark, whatever. We're not talking about that one. But he gets replaced by Huntley, and he doesn't complain, nothing. He just finishes, gets his degree, all that kind of stuff. And he was in Canada for a little bit. I really like him. I got to know him a little bit. He came on the show.
Did he?
Yeah, I've talked to him and Forcade on the show. I can't pick one, honestly. it's the most talked about QB battle probably in the league, but I'm more interested in the DB battle, but we'll get there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. That was the quarterback breakdown.
Yep.
I have not seen any of these guys in action. I need to go watch some tape, and I'll have a better view.
I got you.
That's why you're here to help us discuss this.
All right, I got you.
Running back situation. We only got 3 of them. You just said we cut James Gilbert recently.
Yep.
I don't really know when,
I
mean, I'm okay with Groshek in London.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh, like honestly, so
There's
the
a
Maulers
bowling
kind of got a
ball.
reputation. What's that?
Bowling ball is the third one in case we should really need to wear this defense down more.
Yeah. Well, Mason Stoke is like that traditional Wisconsin fullback, kind of like.
Big boy,
Yeah, he's a
245,
lead.
6'2". He's a bowling ball, man.
Yeah, he's a lead blocker.
They're gonna put
There's one other one, Dwayne Gary from Western Connecticut State. He played in the Arena League. If you get a chance to check out his film in the Arena League, he was the fastest guy all the time. Kid is lightning quick, returning kicks, all that kind of stuff. So for running backs, I don't see a cut here. I really don't, because you got to carry 3.
I missed the Dwayne Gary thing. It wasn't
Mason Stoke is a fullback. He's listed as a fullback, so I don't see any of them being cut. But like I said, Stoke is that traditional Wisconsin fullback, beat you up, kind of smash you in your mouth. And London and Groshek were very good.
I loved it when they signed London. I was very excited.
Yeah, London is the guy, and I think this year he takes that leap. So, SEC guy, you know what I mean? Like he's got to be talented.
Right. Well, everyone thought that about Trent Richardson too, but he sure went down. But I London was just he brought energy.
Yeah.
Like I thought Delvin White would have too, but apparently we'll never know.
Yeah, we'll never know.
So we got the running backs talked about, and I missed Dwayne Gray. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why he wasn't on there. That's weird. So we're gonna move on to tight ends.
Yep.
You guys had Matt Siebert on. I know that because I watched that one
last year. Yep. I had Datrian Evans like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he is awesome. A great story. So he went to Baylor. He committed to Baylor back when Matt Rule was there.
So they got the ace ties.
Well, he got hurt. I don't think so, because he obviously calls Friends University his alma mater. But he gets hurt. He ends up at Friends, plays ball there, junior college, I think, in between, goes semi-pro. Like very semi-pro, not even arena. You know what I mean? Like very like playing some dudes, but not the top talent. Then goes to
like a couple of guys I talked to last year, like Sims, running back. Now he plays up in Minnesota. Still looking to try to get into the USL, XFL. Still, they still send me videos and stuff, and I'm like, I'll send them out. I'll tweet them out, whatever.
Yeah.
All you can do is try to help these guys, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Ends up in the Arena League. His tape is so good in the Arena League as a tight end, which is unheard of. Lonnie Young sees it, signs him. He signed with his agent. He told me on my Hammer Time. He signed with his agent on Friday. He had a contract by Monday by Lonnie Young. Like, they love this guy. Like, he's going to be a big tight end weapon kind of thing. I kind of see like a Travis Kelce type, like not really a blocker, really just a big wide receiver.
6'5", 254.
Yeah. Artavius Lynn's kind of the same way. TCU fast. And Matty Siebert, if he stayed healthy, he would have been a fine tight end last year. He just got banged up. So I like this group. I don't see if they make a cut here, it's because they kept 4 running backs. Does that make sense? So I think between the running backs and the tight ends and the fullbacks, they make one cut there.
Okay. I mean, I don't know why we need this many wide receivers, but I figured this would have been where the cut was.
Well, you got to remember, there's 8, so I've only cut 2 so far, and we're almost done with the offense.
Oh, hold on. I didn't realize I did that. I was wondering why it wasn't showing. I had it on scroll mode.
Nice.
There we go.
There you go.
I'm
You got
not
Dwayne
perfect.
Gary right
I'm
there.
not perfect, ladies and gentlemen.
You got Dwayne Gary. The site I guess you used. You list him as
Oh,
running
there's
back.
Dwayne Gary right
Yeah.
there.
He's a running back. He's fast, but the other guys on this list are returnees. Bailey Gaither is a big get for them. He spent time with the Giants and the Ravens this past summer, and he only got hurt. That's what stopped him. Really, I really believe that. Delvin Hardaway, he was solid last year. Isaiah Henney was on my show this morning, actually, and he was a punt returner. Energy. He's the guy with the tooth. That he got knocked out, his wisdom tooth knocked out against the Stars.
Okay.
He is super quick. His brother is in the NFL. His brother plays for the Giants. He got a different last name, I believe, but his brother is in the NFL. But Bailey Gaither, I'm excited. That was a big get for them when they signed Bailey Gaither.
I was yeah. I was excited to watch Gaither and Walker. I thought they were two of the probably. I thought they were a good tandem.
Yeah, and if you just got better quarterback play or consistent quarterback play, I think the offense would have looked a lot different. So I'm excited about them. It's going to be tough for, in my opinion, this is the position that it's going to be tough for the new guys to replace the old guys.
Okay.
Because I think they're really good. I think there's two cuts here too. So.
Okay. So we got these four right, or actually, well, we know Dwayne Gary is running back now. So we have 9 wide receivers on this team.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then we got Jalen McCluskey,
Yep.
Samson Nakua.
Nakua, I think it is. I don't know. You might be right.
I don't know. I'm not good with last names.
Yeah.
And then Hunter Rising. I meant to look up and see if I was Andre's son.
It is.
It
He came on Hammer Time. Man, he went to Michigan State. He was really good at Michigan State. Some things went on, whatever. He was an 18-year-old kid, ends up at Kansas State, goes JC route, ends up at Grand Valley State. I look him up on highlights. If you look him up on YouTube, everything's a highlight.
I meant to do that last night. I just got carried away. Sometimes being in the production thing, people call you, ask you questions, and then you don't have time for your own show sometimes.
Yeah. But he
was on the team last year, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
He just graduated. I think he just finished college last year. But his highlight tape is great. And then I asked him, like, is that all you do is make big plays? And he goes, well, I mixed my highlights. So he makes his own highlights, but it all looks good, man. In the snow and everything.
I'm definitely gonna look now that you brought this up, because I meant to look last night. I just got sidetracked.
He played as a freshman at Michigan State. He played well. I think he had like 40 catches, but then 18-year-old kids, it just
got carried away, got caught doing something dumb.
He matured a lot. He'll even admit it. He matured a lot at Grand Valley State, and I think he's ready to go. And being, he's got some good genes. So
Andre Rison was a hell of a quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean, Jesus, wide receiver. Oh my
yeah, with Falcons and everything. But
started thinking about Left Eye burning down his house.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that story. People can Google that one. But, Samson Nakua is. I've seen 6'6" and 6'5" and 6'4", so I really don't know how tall he is. He played with the Colts in training camp last year. He's a big guy. He's probably I think he's the biggest receiver we got right now in the roster. McCluskey was a weapon last year in the slot on the outside. He's the one with the cool. I don't know if you've seen the reflecting guide, the helmet reflect like sunglasses.
No, I haven't seen that one.
He's got some good pictures out there because he's got the bright sun and everything. It stands out. It's going to look great in yellow and black. But he works out with Chase Fourcade. There's a connection on a couple of the, like Troy Williams went to high school with Trey Walker, so they know each other. And there's I believe Hardaway is a LA kid too. There's a bunch of LA kids.
You're gonna make me dig into my fact sheet from last year here.
Oh, you're good. But
I did. I mean, I'm sure somewhere you saw all that I did last year. I had pictures of all the players up and everything else. I just can't remember it all, you know?
Yeah. I completely understand. Unless you do it every day, like it's tough to. There's 58 guys on this roster,
Right.
there's so many. There's a lot of turnover, new guys gone,
I was very
and the
excited.
team changed.
Braden Patton followed me back yesterday. I was very
There you go.
excited about that.
I haven't spoken to Patton
I
yet.
haven't spent. There's no like. I don't know how to contact him. Like I said, hey, do you want to come on the show? But it was like in the middle of it, like a tweet
Yeah,
mad grab because
yeah,
there was no little text message box that he has open on the thing.
yeah. Well, some of them have their DMs open. Some of them you have to wait until they follow you back. So
Yeah.
some of them are wide open. Like they're guys. I guess the bigger the story, the underdog story, the more likely they're going to have their DMs open.
Right.
You just kind of
Right.
figure it out. And then if you're getting good with the team, then you tell them, hey, you want to help me, that kind of stuff. And that's the best thing about this league. These guys are all approachable. It's not like
Like
the
Trey
NFL
Tarpley
guys.
just said, "Here's my number. Text me."
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Trey was great. We had him last year. He was great. I haven't brought him on yet this year, but he's doing a lot. I don't know if you've seen him on Instagram, but he's doing a lot of like business advice
I
stories
did
and all that.
not see. I don't even know. I'm like not even on Instagram ever.
Fair enough. But
I know I have. I know I have it. I don't ever go on it.
yeah,
Maybe I should now.
yeah. Well, the players love it. The players love it.
Did you guys have Chase Demore on last year?
Yeah, Ace and Hype interviewed him. I did not.
You did not.
No.
He was a cool dude.
Yeah, he was good. He was got eyeballs for the league.
So that was fun. All right. So then this brings us to the last set. I only got two on here. So we got Joshua Simmons, 5'11", and then we got Trey Walker, which I thought they kind of seemed like the same person, be running these underneath routes. That's the way I looked at it.
Trey is big play. Trey, I call him. He's a superhero. That's what I'm
He's
trying
awesome.
to give these guys nicknames. And, he's like a superhero because you don't expect it. Only being 5'11", like he's not super big, but he'll take the top off. He'll go underneath. He returns kicks. He just got to stay healthy, and I think he deserves an NFL shot at least in the camp. Joshua Simmons, what's that?
Didn't he get a chance with Washington last year?
I think that was 2 years ago, not this past summer.
I thought it was last summer.
No, not Trey. He recently had a child. I had him on my show recently. You're calling all. I got a bunch of wide receivers recently. They started talking to each other, so it helped out. But
that's good for you, man. I love hearing good stories from people, man.
He just became a dad, man, and so like at the end of my show, like I talk about the end zone. We all do it. It's kind of like promote it, and his message at the end, like you cannot not root for Trey Walker. Like he's just a solid dude, and you never
seems like it. I haven't talked to him, so I don't know. Like I'm taking your advice, you know.
Yeah,
I've taken many of your advice into what you guys do. I enjoy watching your program.
Thank you. And then
so I'm not saying I copy it or anything, but I like to listen and learn how to get these guys on as well.
Yeah.
So it makes it. But
if you can get Simmons to commit, we're talking about getting guys on. If you can get Joshua Simmons to commit, you'd one up me. I've been trying to get him since he got signed. He was like the first free agent they signed, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll do it in the future." He likes everything on Instagram that I do, or anything about Maulers, anything.
Right.
But I can't get him to commit. So if you get him on
me, I'll make sure you're here.
All right, that works. But
he
played in the spring league, and he was pretty good. Yeah, deal, definitely. Because I think he's underrated. As you see, he played at Prairie View. But if you look at his stuff, I think he could fit in. The problem is there's two guys from that list that we just ran over. I know Bo Tanner. He's listed as a DB on every single website, including the Fox. He's actually going to play wide receiver. Lightning quick. Absolutely. Bo Tanner, Beau. He's from BYU. A defensive back. He might be listed as safety.
I see him.
Yeah.
So he might be wide receiver.
Yeah. Oh, I think he's the fastest 40 time on the team. So I really expect him to get a shot at returning kicks. He played at BYU. Nakua, who we just before I forget, Nakua actually played at Utah and BYU, so he's playing on both sides of the holy war. That's their rivalry. So Nakua's seen a little bit of both. So, but
All right, we ready to go to the topic you were talking about all before, the offensive line.
yeah, yeah. This is the group that like Charles Baldwin. Baldwin is great. Played at Alabama. He ended up at Youngstown State. So he's super talented. As you can see, 6'5", 305.
He's huge.
Yeah. Luke
He's
Barnes.
28 though.
He is 28. So this might be his last shot, but he's our starting left tackle, more than likely. Luke Barnes is a long snapper. As you know, our long snapper last year, Mitch Ferbroni, is with the Denver Broncos. So we obviously did something right.
Guys get that shot.
Yeah. Coach Hull is he's needs to be talked about a little bit more, because if you think about it, 2 out of the 3 specialists last year were in the NFL all year, just about. So, like, Ferboni was active, and his first game was a Monday night game, and he made a tackle on his first snap, and he ran down the field and tackled the returner. I think it was actually Turpin. Actually, I might be wrong on that. Jared Brooks, a returning guy. Jerome Brown is another big guy, as you can see.
6'5", 310, Lincoln, California, not Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah. He's played, I believe, arena ball the last couple of years or one season, but he's hungry. His agent.
Have you talked to
him? I've not talked to Jerome Brown. I've talked to his agent, Griff. I forget his last name right now, but we
don't need to know that right now.
he's the agent of Brown, Thomas, which we'll get to right here, and Datron Evans. So he's got a little connection with Lonnie Young. But Jerome Brown is – I don't think there's a cut here on the offensive line. I think they keep all 9.
Okay.
So I just think it's continuity, man. Like, if that offensive line gets better and protects the quarterback, obviously they're going to succeed a little bit better. So still, there's 4 tackles, 3 guards, and 2 centers, something like that. So definitely.
Okay. Yep.
Dampier.
We have some big, heavy linemen.
Yeah.
But we had that last year too, though.
Yeah, because Dampier's a returnee, Dietzon's a returnee right there, Evans is a returnee, Logan, I've seen 6'7" and 330. Excuse me. Logan is a giant, man. I think he's the tallest player in the league at 6'7". So, or he might be 6'6". I'm not 100% sure, but I know he's one of the biggest guys in the league. Xavier Dampier comes back as a center. Dietzen was the guard for most of the year, and Evans was, I believe, the right tackle most of the year. So it's tough to find like stats unless you actually like watch all the games and write it down, which I did not last year. Who plays offensive line? There's no pancake stat. You know what I mean? There's no PFF or anything like that.
Do we know if Sirius Radio is going to play these games this year yet?
I do not. I know Ace is talking about starting his own radio, Gamblers Radio. He's going to do play-by-play while he watches the game. It's Fox.
I know my guy Pens was going to talk about streaming the USFL games on this channel.
Oh, so, nice.
Like he watches them, then he talks about them and has the stats on the screen. Which, if it's like last year, Fox did horrible at updating the stats.
Yeah. That's the money, man. That goes back to the league not trying to overspend. So
I mean, we're trying to get it out there. We're doing the best we can, and that's all you can do.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously, TV is king, especially when it's run by Fox. And NBC is a great partner. Well, the Super Bowl last night, they had 3 commercials on. You know what I mean?
I saw a couple. I was at work. I got home midway through the third.
Yep.
And I did see one of the commercials on for the USFL.
Yeah. And then talking about commercials, Boogie was on 2 of them. He's an
When?
actor.
Last night.
Yeah,
So
last night.
it was probably the one I missed then.
No, he was on his own for like Apple and
Oh, really?
yeah, and the
I saw
NFL
the
is
Bradley
celebrating the
Cooper and
72
his mom
Dolphins.
commercial. That was pretty funny.
What's that?
The Bradley Cooper and his mom commercial
No.
for T-Mobile,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
she
I
was
think
just
so.
making fun of him the whole time. That was pretty funny.
Did you see the Tubi commercial? Fox got me
No.
on that one. So Tubi, it acted like it was changing the channel. Like everyone in the country was actually like looking for the
Oh
remote.
yeah, the TUBI.
Yeah, Tubi. Yeah,
Yeah, they kept popping up, but I was like, I don't have Tubi.
yeah. Well, it's free, and it's Fox's channel, and all the USFL games will be on it.
Okay, so we have to download Tubi. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, if you got like a streaming device like Roku, like I have it, and they have all of the games from last year that were on Fox. If you want to go super nerd with it, I haven't, but
I just want to see my team. That's it.
yeah, I'm ready for 2023, man. Like I don't need to watch 2022. We've seen that movie before.
Yeah, 1-9 is not going to make you want to watch the season again.
Yeah, yeah.
But they didn't get blown out in every
No.
game.
I think there's only one game that like when you go into the fourth quarter, it was over. I think every other game was lost in the fourth quarter, or the one game they won was won in the fourth quarter. So I think if they get consistent quarterback play, the offense is better. The defense was obviously good. The talent was there because they put 9, 10, 11 guys in NFL camps last year. Carlo Kemp stayed in the NFL the entire year. Jeremiah Farms, the defensive tackle, stayed with the Patriots all year long on the practice squad. And then you got the long snapper, you got a kicker.
Did Joshua Simmons play at Oregon?
He did not. He's Prairie View.
I'm trying to find his Twitter, but I can't do it.
Yeah, it's a pretty common name. The ones that you can find easier, like John Dietzen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's not a ton of them. But
I was just trying to find him real quick, trying to tag him so he sees us together.
yeah. But yeah, on offense, that is the offense. I expect one cut from the quarterback, one from the wide receiver.
There's still 2 more.
Oh, Patton, a returning,
And Colby Thomas.
yeah, and Colby Thomas. Colby Thomas won
Is he the smallest? 6'2"? Oh no,
yeah, he might be.
Denver 6'2".
Oh, okay. He won a national title in college at Sam Houston State at the FCS level, so he's won.
What was that, Division 3 then?
What's that?
That Division 3?
No, that's 1A, 1AA. You used to call it 1AA. FCS. Pittsburgh school like Duquesne. Like at that level. Youngstown State. That kind of level.
Duquesne's D1 now.
Yeah, it's like 1AA. They can't win like against Ohio State, Penn State, Pitt, but they can win another national championship, and that is where he is, in the FCS level.
Okay.
So I think all 9 make it. So I don't think there's a cut here unless someone has a terrible camp or something else happens. But
it's good to have depth there just in case, all the rolled ankles, all the bad knees. So I think it's good to have depth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially on the offensive line, because if you can't protect your quarterback, you're not going to score.
Right. I think it's good to even have that on the defensive line too. But
yeah.
We ready to go defense? We ready?
Oh yeah. This is my unit right here.
Okay. We'll start with tackles.
All right. Is that Boogie, Beckner, Will Miles, Okoye?
Hold on. I got Beckner, Miles, Okoye.
Yeah.
Okoye. And Nazir Player. He was there last year.
Yeah, actually all of those guys were there last year.
I just remember that game.
There is only one defensive lineman that was not like a new signee. They're all coming back. Beckner's best game is against the Stallions. He was eating up the Stallions line. Will Miles is super athletic. Probably could, if he stuck with it, probably could have played NBA if he stuck with it. He'll tell you that. Koye came over from the Breakers like towards the end, so he's familiar with the system. Didn't play a lot with the Maulers. And Nasir Player, I think, will be the next Carlo Kemp, which will be our edge guy that gets sacks. And I'm really excited about Nasir Player filling that Carlo Kemp role. That's the biggest hole on defense, is replacing Carlo Kemp, in my opinion.
Before we dive deeper, what did you think of the move from Tampa to Memphis?
I liked it because there's going to be a hub. I think Memphis is a good market. The Showboats is a cool name. Reggie White was there. Tampa, I feel, is a bad sports town. I know I can get killed there, but I think Memphis is a better football town. Tampa, like if you look at like stadium, like future, like the only stadium they have is the Buccaneers Stadium. I know Pittsburgh kind of is similar for a stadium, a big stadium like that, but that Tampa one would be very expensive, and that's your only option.
I feel there'd be more people at Heinz Field anyway than there would be at Buccaneer Stadium because you have the beach there. It's starting to get summer.
Yep.
It's starting to get hot.
Yep. And living in the South, I can tell you, not a lot of people are from here. So like our ties are back where we came from. So like our sports teams, like I've been to a Rays game against the Yankees. The whole thing's filled up with Yankees.
Are you New York?
I'm not a New York guy. I'm a Connecticut guy. Originally.
Okay, so you grew up by Brian then.
Yeah, he's in Rhode Island. Yeah, we're both
So
Brian. That's the reason why I went by nicknames.
Fan?
What's that?
Are you a Sox fan?
I am.
Did you wear socks to the Yankees game?
Oh yeah, I am. I actually, my wife now. We started dating my first birthday. We were together. She bought me Red Sox Yankee tickets, and she walked in there with this was 2005, and she walked in there with like it almost said like Diet Coke, but it said Choke, the official soft drink of the Yankees. I'm not afraid, man, because that was right after they lost 4 games to the Red Sox. Yeah, and that's just
you loved it. That was the moment you realized right there. I'm not losing this one.
I was like,
that was the moment.
Yep, that was it. Like that was my first Red Sox Yankee tickets for my first birthday, and you're gonna go there and talk smack to the Yankees. We're in. We're good.
Oh my, how exciting! So it was in Yankee Stadium, or it
was in Yankee Stadium.
It was in old Yankee Stadium where you had a where it was like,
yeah, oh yeah. Well, I also grew up in going to Fenway games. That's even worse than the old Yankee Stadium. Fenway games are you're boxed up into like this little. And I'm only 5'10", and I feel crammed. So,
I thought it was funny. Like, you sat in the outfield seats,
yeah.
And I guess when they built it, they didn't think of making you face home.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like when you're in the outfield, we sat like 5 sections left of the monster.
Yep.
So we were in what was that? A little bit of right center.
If the foul ball pole is in front of you, right?
You got the big triangle.
Yep.
Run. We were like 2 sections from that.
Oh, like by the bullpens, like they were in front of you.
Yeah, we were right. Yeah. We were not behind them, but maybe a section over from them.
Yeah.
And
you're looking at the right field pole, right?
No, you face the left field pole.
Oh, the monster, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because the seats are like this, and they never turn them to face the mound. They face this way, and it's like you're sitting like this watching the game, but it's over here.
It's the same way, like down by the right field pole, pesky pole. Like you're looking at the pole, like you have to turn your head to look at home plate or anything that's going on.
I get it. Maybe they weren't that intelligent back when they built that thing.
Yeah, they just threw it up. But it's been up for 10 years, so.
Yeah. They can't just go in there. Do you know how much that would cost to renovate those seats?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they'll never replace it. So.
No.
Just kind of have
can't.
to live with
I mean, they even built a monster in spring training.
Yeah. Well,
now, do you drive down to that by chance? Do you get to go down?
I have not been to Fort Myers. The closest one to me was the Nationals. I don't think they're there anymore. Like a little bit outside of Orlando, about 4 hours. I saw the
wasn't sure if you
Nationals.
just did the extra hour from there and drove down to Fort Myers.
Yeah, I probably should have, but I know their double A team. They have a single A team up in South Carolina, and they have a monster there. And their double A team in Portland, Maine, has a monster there. So the monsters everywhere. If you go anything that has to do with the Red Sox, so.
Okay. No, are you going to try and go this year by chance? I know I'm getting off topic, but it's baseball.
I would love to go to a Red Sox game, but I don't know. I want to go see more parks in Boston. Like I grew up there, not in
they
Boston.
have to come to Atlanta this year.
Yeah, I
They have to
guess.
come there for a 3-game set, so you might want to look into it.
Yeah, I haven't been to the Sun. Is it called SunTrust anymore? I forget what it's called.
I don't think it's called Bank something now.
Yeah, it's one of the banks. I haven't been there, but it looks nice from the highway.
It looks nice. It looks nice on TV. I haven't been to that one. I've been to both of them. And I've been to both of them over in Atlanta.
Yeah. PNC was my favorite. That wasn't Red Sox. I will say that.
Really?
Yeah. And I was there.
Fenway was my favorite outside of PNC.
And then I was there. I ate in the restaurant. What was it? Outback? I don't remember.
Yeah, the Outback is connected to the stadium.
During the Browns Steelers playoff game with Tommy Maddox, like back in like 2004.
Was that the game we almost lost? The Cribs returning a punt. He stepped out of bounds, but it was snowing and they didn't call it.
Yeah, and Tommy Maddox led a drive late in the fourth quarter, I believe. It was before Ben, so
we were getting beat, and that was like the biggest comeback in Steeler history against. Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a great atmosphere. I'll give it to Steeler fans. They know how to do it right. So I just didn't want to sit in the cold, honestly. I'm not.
Right. So you were there for the tailgate and stuff? You had fun?
Yeah, I was. I went to Penn State for 2 years, so I got a little ties to the area.
Oh, so you got some ties now. You got the big man. You got Fryermuth.
Yeah.
Well, Franco, obviously.
Yeah. I don't think there's another Penn State guy right now. But
I can't either. But anyway, Owen.
Boogie. That's Boogie.
There he is. He said he would come on my show as soon as camp started, so that's what I'm waiting for. Hopefully he does.
Boogie is great. He's the face of the team right now.
For sure. But the guy named Boogie better be the face of the team.
Well, and don't call him Owen. Don't call him Owen when you talk to him. It's Boogie. You can ask him where Boogie came from, but don't call him Owen. I don't know. The website you got, the roster offer said Owen.
It did.
His college degree says Boogie, man. That's how serious the name Boogie is. That's his college degree. Alive Sagapolo. I'll butcher that last name forever. I don't care. He's the biggest guy in the USFL, weight wise, 341. He's giant. Wisconsin kid.
He's probably a house at 6'2" at 341.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he is. Think about nose tackles, right? And a 3-4 defense. That's what he's going to do. He's going to eat space. And that's his role. And I expect Alive to have a pretty good season. Level Tatum came on late. I know they list him as a DT, but he's more like a Carlo Kemp kind of D-end, a big D-end. And Vaughn Taylor is the edge rusher by definition. High motor. He's a good signing. Watching his film, Vaughn Taylor definitely would be one to watch, especially in camp. I think you got them all, right? The D line.
Yeah, there's 8 or 7.
Yeah, I think there's
8.
one cut here. That's it.
One cut.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Here we go.
Well, we got depth this year, unlike last year at linebacker.
The linebackers, we got 6 here. I think one gets cut. I'm calling them the terror squad. So, but before I talk about the nicknames, you know what Boogie calls this season, right? Revenge Tour.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's it. That's his words. That's the slogan for the team, Revenge Tour. So they're all focused on that. But this is the terror squad. Blaze was a big play linebacker. He didn't play much for us at the end of last year, but was solid. Reuben Foster, what can I like? He played in the NFL. He was the best linebacker in the country in NCAA at Alabama. Went to 3 championships, I believe, in a row. Won 2 or won 1. I know that was back when they were playing Clemson every year. He's the biggest free agent signing in this league's history, in my opinion. So
I was excited. I was excited when I saw this signing. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I know this name, and he played a big role in the Alabama team. So let's hopefully it continues. I mean, he is 28, which it's not totally up there for a linebacker, but it's up there.
Well, he doesn't have as many miles either because he hasn't played in 2 years because he was hurt in 2020. 2021, he recovered ACL, I believe. And then 2022, he didn't play anywhere. And the cool story about Reuben Foster is he tweeted like the day before they announced his signing, should I play in the USFL? Is it worth it? Fighting for it again, right? Asking, his 125,000 followers, whatever he has.
I think you should put it up there to poll instead of like a question.
Well, people are like, yes. And 24 hours later, 36 hours later, whatever, he is a Pittsburgh Mauler. So I know Stallion fans are upset about it. So
I think like everyone hit the retweet button at the same time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did. we did. When like the USFL was ready for it because they had graphics for him already. They knew it was going to be the big signing. He is the biggest signing in the league's history. And if he like I said on USFL Authority, he needs to rebrand himself and recover, just like the Maulers do. They went black and gold. He fits perfect. I'm excited to see what he does in this defense because I think the defense, the linebackers. You obviously grew up a Steelers fan, right?
I grew up. I was a I was a Dan Marino fan, so I followed his career. Miami, so I became a Miami U fan. I went back to the Steelers. Probably about in the '90s.
So Dick LeBeau, right?
Yeah, pretty good defensive back, pretty good defense coordinator.
Yeah,
definitely Hall of Famer for sure. Oh yeah.
So that's who Jaron Horton and Ray Horton learned their defense from.
So we should be on top of shit.
So we're gonna play like that, like with Troy Polamalu and the outside line, like the Greg Lloyds and the Kevin Greens and the Harrisons and for the other linebacker from Farrier.
That
guy. Woodley, another great example. I expect this linebackers group to be aggressive.
Mr. Foote, Larry Foote.
Larry Foote, yeah.
And then we got the Troy.
There you go. Troy. We'll get to the safeties now.
Shane Bieber.
Shane Bieber. You're an Indians fan too?
I am.
Oh, okay. All right.
I have a cottage in Ashtabula, so I am really close to Canton there too. Okay. So every summer we would go up there, and if I didn't want to go to the beach, I just sat around and listened to the radio, listened to the games.
Nice.
With my neighbor, and we didn't get Pirate games, so we just listened to. We didn't have TV like we do now, and it was back in the '90s. So I'd listen to Carlos Baerga, Albert Bell,
Manny before he went to Boston.
Manny Ramirez, absolutely. Kenny Lofton, center fielder.
Tomei.
And then you got Jim Tomei. You got Sandy Alomar Jr. behind the plate.
Roberto Alomar, a little bit.
Roberto Alomar. I'm sorry. Yes. Sorry.
No, Sandy too. You had Sandy at the catcher. Yeah, you're right. Both of them. You had both of them at one point.
So yeah, I kind of grew up. I kind of grew up an Indians fan in a way.
That's awesome.
And I grew up a Pittsburgh guy in a way. Like I would spend half my summer here playing baseball. So naturally the Pirates were listened to, and then I would spend the rest of the summer up there.
Nice.
So it was kind of a,
and
it grows on you, and that's all you can listen to.
Yeah, well, and also in the late '90s, the Pirates were pretty bad. So,
yeah, very bad.
Yeah, very bad. So watching the Indians get close to the World Series is way better than watching the Pirates.
Absolutely.
With Jack Wilson.
Jack Wilson and Jose Castillo are one of the best double play tandems in baseball.
Yeah. And Malcolm Howard is a big, to go back to this list, I expect a big season
Keep
out
getting
of.
thrown off track.
Yeah.
This
Malcolm
is our
Howard.
first show, everybody, so we're
Yeah.
still getting to know each other.
Yeah, definitely. Malcolm Howard is definitely one of those guys to watch out for. Coming back the second season, I think he'll advance this year and be a little bit bigger presence. So, looking forward to this.
I think my favorite linebacker, though, is on the next page.
I can call it out. You want me to call it out?
Go ahead.
Dale Warren.
No, I was thinking Zeno.
Oh, all right.
I don't know why. I just maybe it's his name.
Oh, he was great. He was probably the best linebacker. Dale Warren's the biggest character. That's why I thought you were going with him.
No, I was going to Zeno like biggest player. He was always up there with 10, 12 tackles a game. Yeah. And I don't know the name. I just called him the Zeno machine, but that was just me.
Yeah,
it just seemed like every week he was producing in tackles, and unfortunately, USFL doesn't always keep you up to date. I worked every Saturdays and Sunday, so and there was no radio, so it kind of sucked.
Yeah. Well, Tizino was the thing about the first season in USFL was the linebackers were so good. Like if you think about like with the Stallions, right? Scooby and DeMarcus Gates and JoJo Tillery's safety, but you can go down Frank Ginda from the Panthers, Vontae Diggs and Fernandez, the Breakers. Donald Payne led the league in tackles. He had like 140, 130, something like that in 10 games. Tizino got kind of overshadowed because he was on the 1-9 Maulers. You know what I mean? Like I think he's a solid name.
I thought he was solid as all can be.
Yeah, and he's the middle linebacker for this team, and I'm excited to see him in year 2 because I think, especially if you got Reuben Foster on the outside doing his thing.
I think this linebacking core definitely improved so much with Reuben Foster.
And don't forget about Zandier. That's your Pittsburgh kid right there. He's from Pittsburgh originally. Him and Tarpley are the only ones from Pittsburgh originally, but
they both go to Central Catholic.
I don't think Zane did. You can look it up. I'm not
I am already on it.
Western Pennsylvania. What's that called? WPIAA, right?
WPIL.
PIL.
Yeah. What do you guys have down there?
It's called GHSA. GHSA. It's for the whole state. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. And then South Carolina is SCISA. I live like on the border, so they're both the same exact thing. High school sports association, whatever. But you guys produce a bunch of talent on that Western Pennsylvania. Definitely do.
We've had some talent come out of here. Yeah. Marino.
Yeah.
Montana.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the quarterbacks. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But even your D2 kids, like Roland Rivers, right? What's that? PSIC or whatever, where like Shippensburg and Slippery Rock and Westchester and all that. Football is good in Pennsylvania. I think it's one of the more underrated states right now in college recruiting. And Ohio State comes to the state and tries to steal guys from Penn State. So if Ohio State's getting guys, they're in the top 5 all the time. Penn State's top 10 all the time, top 15. I would love to see Pitt come back a little bit more.
Well, their basketball team's on a roll right now.
Are they? I'm not a big.
They're right now. I believe they were 3rd in the conference.
Nice.
They beat Miami. They beat UNC. I think they even beat Duke.
Nice.
But the ACC is not as tough as it was. I'm not gonna smudge stuff up here, but still, no one expected them to be anywhere near 3rd. They should make the actual tournament.
Yeah.
As an 8 as a 6 through 8 seed, depending where they finish in the ACC tournament.
Yep.
But there's a chance, they could play in the final game.
That's
so
great.
If they play in the final game, don't be surprised if you see them in that 5-12 upset matchup type bracket.
That's awesome. I grew up a UConn fan growing up in Connecticut. That's all we had.
So you had the Ray Knight and not Ray Knight. what was it?
Jim Calhoun,
Yeah,
Ray
Jim
Allen,
Calhoun,
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, back in the day, I remember Pitt and UConn, like in the, I guess not, it is 20 years ago now, but with Kemba Walker and all that, they used to go back and forth.
The the Big East battles
Yeah, the old Big East. I love the old
at
Big East.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, yeah. I missed that, but
I think we all do. It's I have a Baltimore guy on our show, and when we talk Steelers and Ravens, we talk about the rival,
yeah,
not the nowadays.
yeah,
It doesn't feel like, excuse me, it doesn't feel like the whole rival anymore, and it's horrible.
yeah.
Like it just doesn't.
You find out where
I'm gonna
Zane
have to
went?
do some bigger research on Zane here because
Okay.
nothing's popping up about his high school.
I know he's Western Pennsylvania kid. I Pittsburgh kid. Let's see if I can. I'm not 100% sure, but. And then he went to Virginia. Obviously, had a decent career.
Yeah, that's all they have him on is Virginia. It just says hometown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It does say Pittsburgh, PA, but it doesn't say. It doesn't say what high school he went to.
I'll find out and I'll let you know when I retweet it.
Oh, he went to TJ Thomas Jefferson.
Okay.
So this kid's been wearing black and gold in high school. Now he's going to come back and wear black and gold for the Maulers.
Good for him, man. It's a good story to have local kids with this league, especially when the team's not in the town. So
that's good. Oh, I did have we did have Matt White on the show.
The punter
We
for the
surprised
Breakers.
him when he brought on his high school coach.
Oh, nice.
So
That's great.
that was a fun little interview, a fun little conversation we had.
That's awesome. That is he's the punter for the Breakers, right? I didn't know he's
Kicker for the Breakers.
I didn't know he's from Western Pennsylvania.
He's from Mars. He went to Mars.
Okay. Mars Township.
So that was a good little fun. That was a fun little thing we do.
That's great.
He goes back and kicks field goals in the off season at the school.
Nice. You I know his mom follows me on Instagram, and she likes. And I don't do the Breakers, but she likes everything with this league. So he's got a good sports system.
That was pretty neat.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. You're this is what you've been waiting for the whole time, I believe.
This is the list.
So this is I didn't purposely put this at the end. It was just the way.
Oh, I know. It's how every roster is constructed, really. But Trajan Bandy he went to the U, super talented. As you can see, he's only 23. Big upside. Eric Burrell, he might be listed undersized as a safety, maybe not, but he was all over the field at Wisconsin. Like if you play at Wisconsin at safety and you're leading the team in tackles some games, like you're legit. Malcolm Elmore, I expect a big season on him, honestly, as the nickelback safety kind of thing. Central Methodist, that's the second kid for Central Methodist on the team.
I saw that. We had one earlier too.
Yeah, it was.
I don't remember who it was, but I know I saw Central Methodist.
And then Keith Gibson is another returnee. He's a big corner, as you can see, 6'2". But
out of Baylor.
Yeah, the
Mary Hardin Baylor though.
I think that's a branch campus or something. I expect big things out of this group, not just this list of names, but with Jaron Horton being a defensive back guy, Ray Horton being a defensive back guy. They want to coach like the Steelers when they won the Super Bowl with Troy Polamalu, Devin Gray, West Alabama. The only other player I know from West Alabama is Malcolm Butler. So small school.
Yeah, he had a big interception.
Yeah.
On a down where they should have ran it.
Yeah. Caleb Ham played in college Canada the last 3 years. Really talented. Shedrick Kirk is another small school kid. Like if you get to know these guys, look it up and everything. These are especially these three right here. Obviously Fordham's probably the biggest school. These are your underdog stories that the league is great about, because these guys have never gotten a chance to shine. Really, I know Caleb Ham played at Fordham, which is right below the big level, but I'm really excited to see.
That's like a D1. That's like D1A or
a double A FCS. Joe Moorhead. Do you remember him? He was the coordinator at Penn State. That was
A
his
while ago.
that was his head coach in college.
Oh, okay.
Cheddar Kirk, like I said, is grew up in rural Mississippi, moved to Nashville.
We have some tall. If they actually start, we have some tall defensive backs.
Well, think about the Steelers in like 2007, right?
Like Taylor.
Ike Taylor. If you talk to Jaron Horton, Ike Taylor is someone he talks about all the time. And Horton was what would have been 12, 14 years old, and he's like he's got a mold, kind of a Maulers mold, and his dad is probably the same way. I would imagine.
I wonder if he ever reached out to Ike and see if he'd come
Oh, that would be awesome.
A little bit.
I'm not a Steelers fan, but that would be awesome. Ike Taylor was always very good.
I did reach out to him a while ago to see if I can get him to come on the other show, but
yeah. And then Troy Polamalu. You got to think these safeties and the D-backs and whoever plays.
You said Malcolm Elmore, right? Eric Burrow. When you said he had led Wisconsin in tackles, that was my first thought.
Yeah,
I was like, this kid. You said this kid's all over the place, like Troy.
Yeah, well, and when we continue this list of the safeties and everything, you're going to be like, the issue is they've got so many guys that are similar, and they all can do it. Like we had the best, the Maulers had the best two safeties last year, like without a doubt. And if Tarpley doesn't get hurt, I mean, if Tarpley stays healthy, he'd be all USFL. Bryce Tornan was already all USFL. The safeties and the two corners that started last year, Shakir Brown and Terrell Bonds, they went to the NFL and spent the whole summer in the NFL. Shakir Brown was like the last cut for the Tennessee Titans. So they know Steve Loney is the new defensive back coach here, and he was an assistant with the Steelers in like 2015. So he's got that Steeler mentality too. But I'm excited about this group. This group is probably my favorite battle to watch. Everyone will talk about quarterbacks and wide receivers. This is the one that can make or break our season if they hit this right.
Real quick,
yeah.
What did you think of Jeff Fisher and Mike Nolan?
Fisher, he left for personal reasons. You can't really. The same thing with Fedora. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they leave for personal reasons. You wish that guys would leave because they got like a head coaching job in the NFL or some coordinator job in the NFL. But both those guys were older guys. So, like, think about it. Fisher coaching the Super Bowl in the year 2000. It's 2023. You know what I mean? Like, that was a long time ago now. It makes me feel old. But you know what I'm saying?
He lost to the greatest team on turf.
Yeah, the greatest team on turf. Exactly. Fedora, it was at college forever, like in North Carolina and everything. He's an older guy. He's got grown children. He wanted to spend some time.
Isaac Bruce go into the Hall of Fame, actually.
Nice.
I was there when Troy went in. That's why I had that jersey.
That's awesome.
That was fun. If you ever get a chance to go see an enshrinement, I highly recommend at least be one of your favorite players.
Yeah. Well, living in Connecticut, I went to Cooperstown once for one of them. It was Cal Ripken and Tony Gwynn. And those 2003, 2004, maybe 2005, whatever it was, 2005, 2006. That was awesome. Like, first of all, Cal Ripken fans are crazy because they really believe he was like the greatest player ever. So, but Tony Gwynn,
I got to see him play once, and that was pure luck.
Nice. I never got to see him play.
Me and my buddy were doing a road trip, and I said, let's stop in Atlanta, and we'll go to the Hi-Fi By Theater. We'll go see the Area 1 Festival, which was Moby and Outkast. We see an Outkast in their backyard in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
Then I was like, well, Baltimore's there too. Why don't we stay in Atlanta for 2 days, and we'll go to the Area 1 Festival, and then we'll go to the ball. Yeah. And I got tickets to the Baltimore game in Atlanta, and the following day he announced he was retiring.
Oh, wow.
And tickets sold out.
That's crazy.
And I was like, we have our tickets. And he's like, no, we don't. I'm like, yeah, I got them. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And did you ever order tickets on opening ticket sales days for Fenway?
Did I? No. All my tickets have been secondary market. I've never.
That was the longest wait in my life. But when
Yeah.
the tickets showed up, they all had my name on them.
Oh, that's great.
Every
That's
ticket
cool.
I bought four because there were four of us at the time going, and they all had my name on it. I thought that was one of the best things in the world.
That is cool.
Whether or not
Yeah,
they
I've,
still
I've
do that
only
or
bought
not,
StubHub and stuff like that. So, or a scalper,
right?
never ordered through the day of or anything like that.
Well, if we were doing this road trip, I was making sure I was getting tickets.
Yeah, I understand.
I just had to wait like 7 hours, and I was so mad. But
That's
anyway, back to our team here.
Yeah,
Got Xavier Lewis,
yeah.
Jalen McClain,
Bo
this is
Tanner's the wide receiver. He's the
he's
one that
the one that's
played.
going to
He
possibly be a
played.
wide receiver.
He played DB in college. He played DB and wide receiver, but I think they're going to move him to wide receiver, kind of kick returner. He's, like I said, the fastest guy in the team. McLean Slap had an interception or two last year for the Maulers. Expect him to expand on the role. The only he's 5'10". You got corners that are 6'2", and if they're close, they're going to go with the height. Xavier Lewis played defensive back safety for Jaron Horton in college in 2016 at Southeastern Louisiana. And he was like the number 10 rated DB coming out of his high school class, went to LSU. For some reason, ended up at Southeastern Louisiana. I really don't know why, but I expect him to be able to hit the ground running. And then Arnold Tarpley Jr. is perfect for this defense. Horton likes to say that the safety is the quarterback of the defense, and Tarpley, and I believe there's one more on the next page, are just guys that understood the defense. And that's going to be the problem with this group. I think it's super talented, but you got guys that have played in the system now for a year that should get better within the system. And how do you get all these guys like this? This is the tough problem. It's a good problem to have because I think there's a lot of talent here.
So, do we lose any of these DBs, or do they keep them?
I think you get two cuts here because you got to cut 8, and on offense I cut 4, defensive line 1, linebackers 1, and I think 2 in the defense between corners and safety and nickel backs and dime backs and all that kind of stuff. I really think this is you have to cut 2. You got the most depth here. So
okay. Oh, we still have 2 more.
We do. Bryce Tornan is awesome, and he was all USFL. Like he's awesome. Eli Walker played at the end. He's young, obviously, 25. I'm excited to see him.
Couple of these guys didn't have their ages, so I don't know their ages. I have 5'9", 190, and I don't have an age. You see how it had Eli Walker, defensive back, 6'2", 202, 25?
Yeah.
I don't have an age. There wasn't an age for some of these guys whenever I was typing it in.
I think Torden's 26, 27, maybe 25. I think he's more 26, 27. But like I said, he's all USFL. I really do believe that if Tarpley doesn't get hurt, they have both safeties as all USFL. And that was picked by their peers. So it's a great problem to have, this defensive backfield.
We have 4 defensive backs over 6 foot.
Yeah, they're big.
We have 5 over 6 foot, right? We got 1, then we got Tarpley. We got you say Tanner's going to be a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Then we have Lewis.
Yep.
Ham.
Yep.
Gray. And Kirk.
Yeah.
7 of the 9 right now are all over 6 foot.
Yeah. They're a big group
to have.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have. This is definitely the strongest position group and the most intense battle, I think, because you don't have the starters for both corners coming back. You don't even have the Hafford who signed up midway and ended up with the Patriots. He's not coming back. So you got a lot of new guys, but their tape looks good and their size is good. And I think the Hortons combined with Steve Loney, who's from the Steelers, I think there's going to be a focus on defensive backs rightfully so. You know, Ray won a Super Bowl as a defensive back. He coached
We did.
Ike Taylor and Troy at Pittsburgh and got 2 Super Bowl rings there. So like they're going to be a focus there. So I'm excited to see that.
Wonder if anyone's reached out to Dick LeBeau and said, "Hey, can you come give us some pointers there?"
We'll see. We'll see. I'm definitely excited to see this battle group, but I think you got one more.
I get more excited every day now that I'm like back in the swing of things of this league here.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I obviously with everything going on with my production company and everything else, I kind of got sidetracked, but I'm getting back into the swing of things. It gets easier once you get people, you know.
Yeah.
You know what they're doing, and you can talk to people, and you know,
definitely.
It's nice that I've talked to some of the USFL players too. That helps a lot.
Yeah, they're great.
Not like you though. I mean, you've talked to pretty much every person in this league almost.
Well, it's on this team. I just like the team. I really do. Like just reaching out, covering it for the USFL network, and then also trying to, you know, we do this as a hobby, really.
That's all it is. It's fun.
Yeah, but like seeing the other guys get interviews, like on our network, like Lowe for the Breakers, getting interviews. He got the GM of the Breakers, or the old GM of the Breakers. Like Ace interviewed Kevin Summerlin. You know what I mean? I've got all the
GM on the phone, dude.
Yeah,
GM calls him and asks him for advice. I think it's great.
Yeah, so we'll so we compete together. You know what I mean? So that motivates me to be like, hey, I got to get better at my game. I got to be better than Ace. I got to be better than Lowe. I have to be the best guy because I'm representing the best team. So that's just how I kind of look at it. So,
well, if we can work together, we can do this.
Yeah,
if you want
to. For my suggestion is get Boogie. As soon as you get Boogie on, I think if you hit it off with Boogie, you'll be good with this team.
That's the goal here. Like I said, he told me, he gave me training camp. Let's do it. So
well, and when he's training camp, he is around all the other players. So there you go. That's actually probably better than, you know, in January, like when he came on mine. You know what I mean? Before filming.
I did text him. You know, I said, "Hey, we're gonna come on, do this little talk, do this conversation." Like I just threw a text at Trey and said, "Hey, we gonna talk about this year coming up or what?" And he's like, "Heck yeah, let's wait till I'm in camp because I'm doing a lot of family stuff before I take off."
Yeah, that's what a lot of them are. And like Isaiah Henney and Walker just became dads. Like they fit you in. I'm really appreciative of it. Like they just have a conversation, like you said, with these guys, so they can tell their football journey, and I get to live out a little like childhood dream. You know what I mean? Covering sports. So.
This is all I used to sit and play RBI baseball and record myself as the announcer.
Well, I used to do that with UConn basketball. I remember like putting my little tape player in the 90s and hitting record and everything, and
hit the 2 buttons at once.
Yep, hit the 2 buttons at once. But like, and then all of a sudden your mom would be like, "Oh, it's dinner time," and I'm like, "You're ruining my recording." I wish I still had those tapes, but
I don't even. Do they even make tape players anymore?
I don't think that. I think I have one, like an old one that I just.
That's crazy. Elizabeth Forward High School is on fire today. Anyway, that's up in Mars. That's up by.
All right, but
anyway, I just looked over at the TV and just seen that school on fire.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I understand.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was exciting doing that stuff as a kid.
Yeah, definitely. It was. I knew at an early stage that I was not going to be a professional athlete. So,
kickers.
Yeah, well, these two are best friends, man. I think they're in each other's wedding, so like they really have a
good chemistry.
Yeah, good chemistry, which is important because Mangle is going to hold for Hurley High. Hurley High is the real kicker. Mangle kicks and punts, but he's really going to be the punter. Hurley High comes from that.
On your show tomorrow.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's Valentine's Day.
I know. I was surprised. Like he must not have seen the date wise.
Yeah, I don't think he did either. Well, he didn't because he texted me right before or DM me right before saying, "I don't know. We're going to have to play by ear."
Well, at least you know you got him in your pocket.
Yeah, Hurley High. I brought him on when he first got signed. Really good guy. He's aiming for that record that Ahmed kicked last year, 61. I've seen tweets of him saying or Instagrams that he has nailed 63, 64. So we'll see. But the biggest thing here is they're close. They're practicing together right now. They have been at the John Carney. Remember him, John Carney?
Yeah.
He runs a kicking school out in California, and these two work together all the time. And they're good friends. And to trust your holder, I think, is just crazy. And to ever talk, if you ever get a chance to talk to kickers, it's crazy, like how much they like are scientific about it.
Did you ever see the Pat McAfee whenever he got drafted?
No, I did not. No.
He lied to Jim Irsay and said that he held his snaps.
Oh wow.
And I guess Vinatieri called him, and he's like, "I've never held a snap."
Oh wow.
And he was so mad. They sent him to like this snap holding school somewhere, and I was like, I started laughing.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of crazy because he probably had the GM of Bill Polian, right?
I think so. Yes, not Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay was before, right?
Irsay's the owner, but who owns? I mean, who runs this league now? Bill Polian. He's the reason why Ray was hired, and he coordinated all the coaching vacancies. So we've gone full circle there with Pat McAfee and Bill Polian.
So what are you gonna? Yeah. Well, hopefully, we can all plan to be in Canton and meet everyone. I think that'd be awesome too.
Yeah, it would be.
Hopefully, I get the invite this year.
Hey, man, they gave me 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. They're like, yeah, we're gonna have press passes and everything. I'm like, man, you couldn't tell me this like a couple months ago. You know what I mean? But it was the first year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ace goes, and I asked him, he's like, you fell off the wagon. And I was like, no, I didn't. I just didn't get to seen by you guys as much. And so that happened. But, it's all good. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah. But, I like doing this. It's fun to me. Yeah. It's a hobby.
Yeah.
And USFL players are a little bit easier to reach than the big guys.
Yeah, without a doubt. USFL players.
Whenever they come on, they are our big guys.
Exactly. Like, honestly, is there a bigger name, maybe Scooby, but bigger character in the league than Boogie Roberts? You know what I mean? Like that.
No, I don't think there is.
Like that is the league star, and he's so approachable. He was on 2 Super Bowl commercials. You got to download the one. He sings.
I'm gonna look him up.
He sings a cappella. He sings.
I'm gonna look up Ryzen and Boogie Super Bowl commercials.
Yep. But he's him singing as a Rams fan, singing Rihanna is something like you don't see that out of a lot of stuff. But
no, you do not.
And he was in the Dolphins commercial, whatever they were promoting. I don't remember. But
I have to look this up. Like I said, I did not see that.
Yeah, Boogie's great. But the whole team, honestly, I've talked to most of these guys through DMs or whatever. Not Reuben Foster, but a lot of the new guys are underdog stories, and it's something to root for. You know what I mean? Like, look at your kicker right there. Redlands.
I don't even know where that is.
It's in California, obviously.
I figured it was somewhere out there, but
like it's I think a D2, maybe D3 school. You know what I mean? And he was in the spring league and all that, and he's worked his way up. And I know he's a kicker, so like it, just got to execute, and you get your recognition. But like this league gives these guys chances, like the West Alabamas and the Kentucky Wesleyans and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely a fun league to cover and get to know these guys.
I have fun. That's all I do.
Yeah, there you go.
Hopefully we can stream, do a couple games together, maybe even. You know, we'll make it fun.
I'll let you know when I'm coming up to Canton for a game.
Absolutely. Let me know. Like I said, like I'm an hour and a half. So,
and I wish I was an hour and a half. I'm 11. So,
yeah.
It's one
like
road.
I said, I still have to get off work. I still have to, I'm going to try and go to at least 4 or 5 games, and I'm going to try and go to the championship this year or that weekend anyway. Well, it seems like a wild time, but it might be a little more crowded this year too, with the league getting a little better and bigger.
Yeah, it should be, and obviously the Maulers are considered the home team. I know they called it the Greater Pittsburgh area, which is kind of crazy to me because it's way closer to Cleveland, but they're calling it the Greater Pittsburgh area.
Really?
Yeah, that was on the press release, and I was like, I don't know about that, but
Maybe because like whenever black and gold come there in football, we take over.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what they were. Maybe that's what they were
yeah,
talking about.
yeah. They weren't promoting the dog pound, which I get, whatever. But
Well, they're not going to promote a Cleveland team with no USFL team.
yeah, I get it. I'm just excited to see them in New Jersey are going to travel everywhere. New Jersey obviously was the king of the North, so got to go chase them down.
So that's what they're doing. They're just traveling as a team combined to
Yeah,
save
so
money in
like
that way.
week one, they are both in Birmingham. So the Maulers play the Breakers, and the next or that's on Sunday,
And
but
then
on
a Saturday
Saturday
play.
are Generals. And then when they go to Memphis, they travel together. When they're home, they're both home. When they go to Detroit, you know what I mean? So um, they'll probably take the same flights and all that kind of stuff to save money for the league and create a year 3. That's really what we're looking for. Year 3, year 5, year 10. So we can remember these days of the hub system. You know what I mean?
Right. Hopefully we can get off the hub system and come home.
Yeah. You said year 4, I think at the beginning of the show.
I did.
I think it's next year, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's next year. And then year 4 is the franchise. Like they start finding owners. Maybe even next year they start to find because you get investors that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think next year they'll get owners, and then the owners are going to be able to talk to the home stadiums.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
they go. I think they go that route because without the owners having money,
yeah.
you need owners to have the team, right?
Yeah.
So once the owners can get the money together, they can walk you over to Heinz Field, or I'm sure New Jersey's going to play at the Meadowlands, hopefully, right?
Yeah. That's a big stadium to fill.
And then New Orleans, are they going to play at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, or they're going to play in
Like
Death
Tulane.
Valley?
Well, Tulane too. Tulane's right there, which
That's
was
right.
kind of the
Tulane is
same,
right there.
which is kind of the same size as Protective Stadium in Birmingham. Same thing with Memphis. Memphis got the Liberty Bowl. Liberty Bowl is pretty big. Houston's got a ton of fields.
That Liberty Bowl hasn't been used in years, I heard.
Except for the University.
Except for the bowl game. That's it.
Yeah, and Memphis, I think, plays there too.
I thought I read that they have a different field.
I think they're building one. I think that's the plan. So eventually, Liberty Bowl is Tampa. Like I said, they said Tampa's on hiatus. They didn't say it's gone. So that means expansion is going to be down the road, and Tampa probably has to be one of them since they did say that. But they're also playing. Michigan's playing in Ford Field. Like that's
Michigan home games, like home games.
Yeah. So that and Philadelphia home games, right? That's their home field too.
Yeah, Philadelphia's in Ford. Yeah.
Yeah, but the nice thing about Ford Field is if you don't
Which
sell
doesn't
out,
make like it didn't make sense because you could have put the Maulers in the Ford and then put the two East Coast teams together in Canton.
I think the Maulers are considered the home team.
Oh, no,
So
I mean, you know what I'm saying though, like to keep it map like Jersey and Philly and Canton because it's there right there on the East Coast. And
yeah,
then just have the Pirate. There's oh my god, I almost said the Steelers. The Maulers go with Michigan up in Ford Field.
yeah.
Because it would have been like more geographical than having Philly go all the way to Michigan.
I think the goal was that they wanted that Pittsburgh market. They want that Western Pennsylvania market, and you're more likely going to get them to go to Canton than you are to Detroit. And then New Jersey, I think, was brought in because I think they split up. Do you remember last year they had like rivals? They called like the Keystone Showdown or whatever it was called, right?
Yeah, Philly and yeah.
So now Philly is not in the same hub as their actual rival, and all the rivalry games they're split up. There's no rivals together in any of the hubs. Like
That's
even though the Breakers and Stallions probably are the best rivalry, the Breakers their promoted rivalry game is against now the Memphis Showboats. It used to be called the Breaker Brawl or whatever.
Right.
So they've split up all those rivals. So now there's home and away for all those rivalry games. So kind of cool. And Philly plays home in Canton one time in week 2. They're playing Michigan in Canton because there's a concert going on at Ford Field. So
we might have a big Philly turnout.
yeah, Philly, I guess traveled really well last year for the championship. So that could be part of it too with Detroit. You never know, but like maybe they have good flight deals between Philly and Detroit. They got some, offshoot airline that people can go real quick there. I guess New York would have that too. So
I don't know if Southwest has a direct to Detroit out of Philly or not.
I for some reason I want to say Frontier flies to Detroit. So just something like that. It could be something as simple as that. We really don't know why Philly is where the teams are. Obviously, Michigan is Michigan. And I really think Pittsburgh.
I have my thoughts on that jersey too. That Philadelphia jersey.
Hardy's.
Oh yeah, the Hardy jerseys. Yeah,
Yeah.
Miles Tannenbaum owned that team back in the '80s, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And Miles Tannenbaum's from Queens, New York.
Okay.
And at that time, well, I mean, obviously the Giants and the Eagles are a huge rivalry, right?
Yeah.
And at that time, they had the Stars as the Cowboys. They had the Phoenix Cardinals in that division for the red.
Yeah.
And then they had the orange for the Redskins. And there's no gray or blue in that jersey. And there's no green and silver in that jersey.
That's awesome. That makes sense. Their uniforms are bright.
And I think Tannenbaum did that just to not piss off every New Yorker and then piss off more Philadelphia people.
Yeah, makes sense. That's cool.
I don't like if you look at these jerseys, look where the people are from. You can follow like how they're trying to design them.
Yeah, that's actually cool. I never even heard of that. So
that's just my thought. I really don't know, but obviously,
well, it makes sense. Like if you watch that 30 for 30 on the USFL, like you could tell that they were going for competition with the NFL. Like they just wanted to mess with the NFL, obviously. And I don't think this league is built that way. This league is built as a developmental league, and it's for football nerds, and hopefully it grows up. Because, like, if you think about it, the business model doesn't stand for long-term success because, like, you don't want your players to return. Like, in reality, you really don't. You want them to be in the NFL right now because that's the big dog.
You want to be the stepping stone to get to the stepping
plateau. So, like, that's what they're fighting for.
You want to be that middle ground where the people take it from here, college.
Yeah.
So you give them a chance here to make it to there.
Yeah, and their goal is not to compete with the NFL. So I think this model works. They're conservative with their money, and I really think
they also have ex NFL players in there too that are able to help a lot. I mean, Daryl Johnson helping this league tremendously.
Well, you got to also remember it helps out a lot when your owner right now is Fox. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
and what do they do? Down that cost. Every NFC game on every weekend and the Super Bowl. So
yeah, you've got Fox.
So that is a huge help for sure.
Yeah, well, Super Bowl commercials because it was on Fox last night. You didn't see the three. I don't say the league that they're competing against. I call it the 3-letter league. Yeah, the 3-letter league. Because
that would have been cool if they would have set it up for like them to have like a weird championship game.
Well, if you think about it, that's how the AFL and the NFL started the Super Bowl. So that's kind of, I don't know. Maybe you got a spring league Super Bowl down the road, 5-10 years.
I just thought that was the goal, like right away. I thought that was something they would have tried to like say, hey, the winner of your league plays our league, and then we'll pick where they play.
Well, I think the leagues are competing so much right now that you won't see that for a minute. But I don't. I wasn't alive in
letting them settle. Then, like once it gets unspicy, they're gonna have to throw in some more spice and say, "Hey, do you guys want to have like who was the better league of spring championship game?"
That would be awesome, but I don't see that for a little bit.
Well, hopefully, we're still sitting here doing this whenever they do.
Yeah. I would love to cover the league for 10 years, and then all of a sudden we're talking about the 4 versus
And we'll
the
go back
three.
on this video and be like, they talked about it.
Yeah, there you go. We're progressive. We're what's the guy that could tell the future? Nostradamus. We're Nostradamus.
I don't think we're them, but anyway, we just see it. We just see maybe we are looking into a crystal ball right now. Who knows?
There you go. But
I mean, that was the thought last year. Whenever the that other league was being made, and I was like, that would be awesome if they brought them together and played like a main Super Bowl between the two spring leagues.
yeah, well, I just want a league that survives more than 2 years. You know what I mean? I know we're on year two. We never like the last time a league got to year two is like I was 2 years old, man. I'm turning 40 this year. Like it's been a long time since this actually spring league has the second season, not counting arena, obviously, but like a legit spring league. So I'm really excited about it. I'm ready for a Maulers Gamblers Championship. That's what I'm ready for.
Yeah, I'm ready to see. I'd like to see us go 8-2.
Yeah, I just want to go to the playoffs. That's all. I don't care what the record is. Just get us in, and then I'll trust that defense any day. That's we just need quarterback play, consistent quarterback play, and we'll be fine.
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, because like to kind of close it all up, Tomlinson talks on my show. He talked about consistency and continuity, and like I said, like the Stallions had it, the Stars had it. And he's spent time with all these quarterbacks, and they're developing it. I told you that some of these quarterbacks played with some of the wide receivers. They practiced with them and everything. So I'm looking forward to it. But
I'm antsy to get my feet back wet. I'm on the path, and I can have you and Ace to turn to if I have questions. Yeah. And now that we've talked, I feel like if I wanted to bring you back on, we could have a better talk.
Yeah. I'll always come on, man. There's not a lot of us out there that are strictly Maulers guys, so I love talking Maulers football. I really do.
This is the only show where I'm only Maulers. Like I am not a Steelers unless someone says, "Hey, we're doing a Steelers show."
Yeah.
Like if someone comes to me and says that, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But other than that, like my main show is Talking Sports with. So yeah. I've met so many. I mean, how do you think I met Ace? If I would have only been Steelers, I'd be like, who are these guys?
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. I got you.
So I mean, my goal was to bring out and reach out to as many people as I could.
Yeah.
But then I saw you three talking and I was like, I just heard about this. Now I'm watching this and I need to know more about this. And that's when I reached out to him right away and said, "Hey, would you come on and talk?"
I think you've had Hype on too.
Yeah, I had Brian on. I mean, Hype. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, no, well, so the funny story about that before we take off, my name's Brian too, and we both spell it with the Y, so we couldn't even say like Brian with an I and Brian with a Y.
Oh,
so
really?
when we started, we were like,
you can't even say Brian from Connecticut either.
Yeah, like we both are from New England. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of similarities. We're roughly about the same age, everything. So, what's that?
But you never met.
We never met. We actually met on. We were doing kind of coverage stuff about the Boston Red Sox, honestly, and it kind of went downhill. I wasn't a big fan of the guy. He asked me to join the USFL network, and it was just me and him at first, and then we met Ace, and it's grown from there. And now we've got every team, I think, except one covered. The Generals, we do not have a team.
I saw that, and I was like, should I offer? And then I'm like, man, I'm so invested in a smaller team. I really don't.
Yeah, well, if you dive all the way in, like I'm not from Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? I'm not even a Steeler fan. I'm not a Pirate fan. I'm not a Penguins fan. I'm not. I like Pitt basketball. I respect it. Riverhounds, right? That's the name of the soccer team.
Yeah, the soccer team. I don't.
Yeah, I'm not even them.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know much about that soccer team there.
But
they're still newer too. But no one really talks about them.
Yeah. Well, I know nothing that they're pretty decent, right? Like they're typically
they're not bad.
Yeah,
they're not bad. But like I said, I know nothing about them.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get invested in something, I know their stadium is super nice. You see it every time you're going over the West End Bridge. It's right there. You're like, that is a nice soccer field.
Yeah. I'm sure it is. It's they play the team in Charleston, which is about an hour and a half from me. And their soccer field is beautiful too. So I have no ties to Pittsburgh really. Started covering it. Like honestly.
Yeah, I wish Ace would have messaged me on Facebook and be like, "Hey, we need your help."
But I love this team, man. I love this team.
I was still following the team. I just wasn't really. It was hard keeping up because I had so much shit going on, but I was still watching them.
Yeah, I understand. So we had 2 breakers, guys.
Right. You had you and Lou, right?
Me and Lowe and Logan, whatever. And we were signing on with the USFL. We worked with them through the Discord for the off season, and we were like, what are we going to do with this? We didn't have a Stallions guy and we didn't have a Maulers guy, which is crazy because that's champs and the worst team, right? And
Williams had a Stallions guy.
We have them now, Buckham. We've never had a Stallions guy. I'm gonna take some heat, and if someone's watched for 2 hours, that's fine. Stallion fans are tough, man. They're tough to find. Like they are Alabama football fans.
They are Alabama slammers, baby.
Yeah, they are like there were Stallion fans that were seriously upset that Reuben Foster signed with the Pittsburgh Maulers rather than the Stallions. They think, oh well, we got the open spot, come home, but he signed with the Maulers because he thought he could fit in, whatever. And Maulers reached out, whatever the story was.
By the way, everyone in Alabama.
Yeah, so. So they were the hardest to find. And then I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take, I like Boogie. Boogie caught my attention on United by Football. I was like, I'll take the Maulers. Lowe could stay with he has family in New Orleans. He's got the tie. I went to school at Penn State. I'll run with Maulers. And I started this summer, and man, this is no lie. This is probably my favorite sports team. Like right now, out of all of them. Like I think Maulers a lot more than I think of some other sport team. Not Celtics. Celtics are pretty close. That's my.
I shared a pretty good one on my Sports Talking It page today with Rondo and Kevin Garnett.
Yeah,
Rondo was ready to be cut. Did you know that?
I know he had a lot of fights,
and then Kevin Garnett was like, "He's staying."
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden he blew up.
Yeah. I know Rondo was even at 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, whatever he was when he was rookie.
18, I think.
Yeah, he challenged a lot of the veteran leadership, even at a young age. And he probably had a pretty solid career, if I say so myself, 15 years later, whatever. But
well, Webb, we ready to call this a day? We got 148.52.
Yeah, we almost went 2 hours. How long did you go with Ace? Like an hour, right?
I think an hour and 10.
Yeah. I love this league more. That's why. I hope Ace is watching right now. I really do.
I don't know who's watching. Do you guys run StreamYard or what do you guys run?
We do Restream and StreamYard.
I like StreamYard. I think it's pretty easy.
Ace uses StreamYard. I use Restream. They're the same thing.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like they're very similar. What's that?
Anything different on yours?
On my side right now, yes, it's very different, but it's the same thing. Ace says the same thing. I think the measurements for your graphics around it and everything are a little different, but other than that, like our camera size might be a little different. Everything else seems like it's about the same thing.
I mean, I could change it. I mean, you can always do I don't like this view.
No, either do I.
I like this one.
Yeah. This is the way to go. But I'm saying like the gap.
I wish I could turn us out and have us at like an angle, and that way the Maulers thing would be right in the middle.
There's a Maulers thing back there. I didn't even know that.
Right. Look in between the middle of us.
Yep.
The Maulers swinging guy right there.
Oh, I kind of see it, I guess. But
are you on your phone?
I am not. No. Never, man. I am on the computer. I see mostly black screen. So.
Oh, okay. Well, if you look right in between us, you see the A and then the guy swinging.
Yeah, I don't have that. I have straight black, but.
Huh? Maybe you have a different screen dimension.
Maybe. I don't know.
know.
Maybe because I'll see it on the replay.
So, but Webb, how people get a hold of you real quick once again.
Social media everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I tried it. I don't know if I'm a big fan
You
of it,
do
but
dances.
USFL Network. We are everywhere. Follow all 8 of us right now. Find me at hammertime_web.
I know because I got Hammer Time Pet.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that. I was like, all right, that's fine. But I like the original name was USFL Network Web, so I just kind of kept the web part. But Hammer Time, it comes out twice a week right now. I'm doing 2 interviews a week all the way until the training camp. Then I'll go once a week. And then USFL Authority, me and Ace argue about everything USFL.
Then you also have the Top Doc or whatever it's called.
Tell me about it.
The one where you guys bring in players that aren't.
Oh,
or
talking with Hype.
is that what it is?
Yeah, that Hype's gonna run that by himself. He's just
Oh, he
gonna
is now.
Yeah, he is going to.
Told me he's taking a break.
He is taking a break, but I'm saying the plan is that he is going to interview players. He doesn't cover a team; he covers the entire league. And then Mondays we'll have a recap show where everyone from the network will provide a recap and we kind of run it all together. So it's the ultimate recap show. But you got to watch USFL Authority if you want USFL news seriously, and you like people arguing like First Take style, debate show kind of thing. That's definitely the best. But we got Breakers Weekly if you want to catch that. Lowe does a great job. We got Stallions Run. We're possibly starting up a showboat with the captain. He's a great follow on Twitter. They all are really.
I think I follow him. I didn't think it was like the official Memphis, right?
Yeah,
So
he made it.
or whatever.
Yeah, he's the captain. He's really good.
Was he the Bandits guy by chance too?
He was the Bandits guy. He's from Florida.
So he followed the team.
Yeah, he had no choice, man. We had all the other teams covered. And then we got Blob with the Stars with Adam. He does a good job with the Stars. And then Pod in My Take.
There's 2 Adams now.
Yeah.
That's my real name.
Yeah. And then there's Pod Done My Take, the Panthers guy. He just did a Super Bowl prediction contest for Reggie Corbin autograph T-shirt. So maybe you can go sneak in there and then just put the exact score of the Super Bowl last night. Maybe he'll send it to you. Who knows? But I don't know how he's going to decide because there are a lot of close ones that really what turned out. And I don't know how he's going to decide. But someone's going to get a Reggie Corbin signed autograph T-shirt. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. We did a Slaughter one last time, but we'll see. But
well, Webb, I thank you for coming on. You want to hang out for a couple minutes after we get off of here? Actually, I don't have a closer for this one, unless I play the video again.
Well, it was great.
What's that?
That's a great intro video. Honestly, I'm legit jealous of that video.
Well, we'll play that one as a closer then too, because I don't have a closer. I didn't get that yet.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
All right, man. Thank you.
The Maulers are here.